We're on. Hello everyone, good afternoon. We are gathered here today outside the office of Congressman Tom Kean Jr. to send the message that there is no safe level of lead and we need to maintain the protections in the Safe Drinking Water Act and specifically the lead and copper rule improvements. Repealing those improvements will endanger our neighbors. According to data from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Public Community Water Purveyor Service Line Inventory as of December, the state has at least 300,000 lead or galvanized service lines that need replacement to protect human health. And on top of that, the type of material for half of service lines statewide, 2.2 million, is unknown. So millions more could potentially contain lead. We know by now that lead makes people sick and kills them. It's especially harmful to children, the elderly, and other vulnerable populations. And in New Jersey, we already have a state law that requires lead service line replacement. So rolling back the federal standards will only mean that we have to pay more to do our duty here. And I wanted to hand it over to a resident of this congressional district who is with us on this issue and a great advocate for everybody in the country. Give it up for Kathy. Kathy
Hi everybody, thanks so much for coming out today. My name's Kathy O'Leary. I am the New Jersey Region Coordinator for Pax Christi. We represent the International Catholic Peace Movement. I am here today actually as a constituent of Tom Kean Jr. He's been my representative for over 20 years now. He's represented me since I think when he was in the Assembly. And I actually first met him at an Earth Day celebration in Summit. So I don't recognize the Tom Kean that I see here today. I don't recognize the guy who likes to tell you all about the fact that he met his wife when he was working at the EPA. The Tom Kean that we remember, who used to be our representative, was concerned about things like lead in children's water. He was a compassionate Republican. I don't know who he is today. Like I said, I do not recognize him. He will not speak up for the least among us. He won't even speak up for conservative principles. Clean water is not a partisan issue. Lead out of our water is not a partisan issue. Clean water is a human right. We should all have access to clean water. We should all care about what our children drink. Yes. This is not just an issue for places like Newark and Patterson. This is a place for a place like Long Hill, because when people started testing their water in their schools, when the lead crisis was unfolding in Newark, what we found was that there was lead in our water in our schools. There was lead in the water of the school that housed the preschool through first grade programs. And what we know is those are the people, those are who are most vulnerable to lead. Those are the children who are going to end up with developmental disabilities, with lower IQs, with all kinds of learning disabilities. They're going to cost us more money to educate, but I guess the plan is to get rid of the Department of Education. So what we have seen is that we have billions. Actually, last night they just passed the budget through the Senate, and they have hundreds of billions of dollars for bombs, for jails, and for border walls. And why is that? They are stealing money from Medicare, they are stealing money from clean water, they are stealing money from environmental programs, they are stealing money from SNAP benefits, so feeding children. And why? So that they can give it to Department of Homeland Security for their mass deportation. And why are they doing that? To distract from the fact that they are going to give that money to billionaires in a tax cut and in all kinds of other corporate giveaways.
much, Kathy. And I'm Charlie Cradaville. I'm the Central Jersey organizer at Food and Water Watch. For 20 years now, we've been fighting against lead in the water. Last year's final implementation of the lead and copper rule improvements was a huge accomplishment. Unfortunately, the Trump administration and congressional Republicans are working to roll back those improvements. The critical one being the requirement that we remove those lead pipes. So again, New Jersey is going to suffer because killing this federal rule could actually raise costs for our state. It's fiscally irresponsible. We need the congressman to stand up for his constituents and defend the lead and copper rule improvements. Don't just wait. Come out against House Joint Resolution 44. On January 28th, many of us were here, gathered at this exact same spot, fighting against a different House Joint Resolution by a different congressional Republican trying to accomplish the same thing, which is set back our cause, set back clean water, and that will mean more lead pipes, more people getting sick, and more people dying. That's why we're here today. So again, the federal rule doesn't change the deadline. We still have 10 years to replace our lead pipes. It simply means that federal resources and support won't be available if we roll this back. The lead and copper rule improvements are one of the biggest accomplishments in protecting clean water, and we can't allow regressive Republicans to push back and roll back those improvements. So I am now going to hand it over to an amazing advocate for children, an advocate for clean water. At Food and Water Watch, we've worked with Paula Rogovin for many years, and we're so proud to have her here with us once again today. Give it up, everybody. Paula Rogovin.
Let's start together. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Lead pipes have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Lead pipes have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Lead pipes have got to go. Hey, hey. We rallied here last month. We rallied in the same spot last month. And after that rally, many of us called the Washington office, called this office, called the Washington office. We tried and we tried. And the minute I started to say something, they said, "Where do you live?" I said, "Oh, Teaneck, I can't talk to you."
Oh, yeah.
Now, I understand this is, I'm not in his district, but this is not a foreign policy issue. This is not about their DEI. Let's deal with DEI. This is not about so many of the other issues. This is about saving children, saving adults from lead poisoning. And Kathy said it all. Lead poisoning impacts learning. It impacts brains, especially of children who are developing. I taught for 44 years in New York City. We all know children who suffered from disabilities caused by environmental impacts. This one is evil, it's brutal. Lead poisoning is evil and brutal. And anyone, whether it's Musk or Trump or the congressman here, anyone who's going to reduce the level, the lead safety, the lead regulations, that's evil and it's wrong and it's bad. Now, we were told last month that Tom Kean really cares about children and he really cares about lead. Kathy mentioned that his staff said he helped get lead pipes replaced in some of the schools, and that he really cares. He really cares. Well, if he really cared, it would be very easy for him to say, "I'm going to vote against this."
Here, here.
I'm going to hold my back up straight, and I'm going to vote against reduction of the standards for clean water. But he can't even get his staff to say no. He can't say no. I'm going to vote against it. He wants to say no, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop.
Do your job. Do your job. Do your job.
So said, because she said it so well, this is racist. This is a racist policy. The areas that are going to be the last to have the lead pipes replaced are in poor communities, are in black and brown communities. So reducing the rules here, knocking down the rules here for lead and water is racist. We cannot allow it, and we have to call him out on it. I hope that the few people who are going to be allowed in to speak to him today. How many people live in his district? Oh, good. I hope that you will tell him that we're going to be back, and we're going to be back, and we're going to be back, and we're going to get stronger and bigger.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a lot more of us each time.
Yes.
Until he agrees to vote no on this. But thank you to Charlie for helping organize this, and I'm so glad to be with all of you. And I see some people with signs that are not about lead and water, and that's okay, because we all have to fight on all of these issues. They're all so critically important. So, what do we want? Clean water. What do we want?
Clean water!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Clean water!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Clean water!
When do we want it?
Now! Forever!
All right. Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here. What she said was 100% right. We are going to keep coming back with more and more people until we hear what we need to hear, which is
No.
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 No to the rollback. Yes to protecting kids from lead. As you mentioned, it's actually not just the lead pipes, but the action level under the lead and copper rule improvements is now 10 parts per billion. This would roll it back to 15 parts per billion, so when they find it in your pipes, find it in your schools, find it in your drinking water, there won't be any action. And we need action. This is an issue we know it's killing people. We know the solution. We have the resources. And we can't go backwards. We have to go forwards. So we're all here to demand Congressman Tom Kean Jr. use his power, use his voice to say no. We believe that if just a few congresspeople in his party use their voice and say, no, we're not going to be voting for that, it will die. The rollback won't happen if we can get just a few. So that's why we're out here. This is so important for everybody to be here today. I'm so proud of everybody for showing up in the cold. It's great to see so many friends, old and new. And yeah, let's win this thing. Oppose House Joint Resolution 44. We don't need that. We need to make progress, not roll back. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.